Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to share with you what is storage. Let's see. First, we learn about warehousing to understand the basic concept and importance of warehousing. Secondly, know the basic types of warehousing. Again, we want to detail the main functions of warehousing. Then we have to master the solution to the basic problem of warehousing. Okay, let's look at the first point. What is the meaning of storage? It is the storage and custody of goods through warehouses. It is produced with the production of material stocks and with the development of productive forces and development. So warehousing is one of the important links of commodity circulation. It is also an important pillar of logistics activities. In that way, under the conditions of social division of labor and specialization of production, in order to maintain the smooth progress of social reproduction process, then a certain amount of supplies must be stored to meet within a certain time the needs of social production and consumption. Since the founding of New China, then the development of our industrial and agricultural production, expansion of commodity circulation, the stock of goods increased accordingly. So because of the original warehouse, in terms of quantity and our management, cannot meet the needs of social and economic development. So the country has taken a series of measures. Reform warehouse management. We divide it by storage function. So what are the categories? First, let's look at the storage warehouse. So after storage, we should pay attention to the quality, storage, and maintenance of materials. Second, distribution center warehousing. Then, the places and organizations engaged in distribution activities, mainly for specific user services. Sound distribution function, information network perfection. Radiation range small variety, multi-batch small distribution. Then storage is helpful. Let's look at the logistics center warehouse. It is mainly a place and organization engaged in logistics activities. Mainly for social services, logistics function is sound. Perfect information network. Wide radiation range, small variety, large batch, strong storage capacity. Unified management of logistics business services. Let's see what the other 2 points are. Then there's our bonded warehouse. In our opinion, bonded warehouse is used for storage. Bonded goods. Not for domestic sales. Temporarily entering the customs to suspend duty. It also includes our transportation and conversion storage, connecting warehousing with different modes of transport. Pay attention to the turnover of goods. So efficiency. And what's the turnover rate with ours? Let's see. According to the main body of storage business division, then we are divided into enterprise self-storage. So what is the enterprise self-storage? That's mostly for personal storage. So what are its properties? Closed business. Alright, let's see what else is public storage. The main body is a public institution. It has the nature of internal service. So for our station, wharf transportation and our operational services, it has the nature of business storage. There is no storage contract. Storage charges are included in our shipping charges. Let's move on to commercial warehousing. Commercial warehousing. What is it mainly? Its main body is a professional storage unit. Provide our warehousing services or venue rental services. Charge us for storage. So this is business. And the company-owned warehouse we talked about above. What's the difference? One is not to operate externally. What about this? We see it as a form of profit making. Let's look at strategic reserve warehousing. Here we are talking about the national government as the main body. For national defense and security is the need for social stability, divided by storage objects. First, common goods storage. Then, we have no special storage conditions. Ordinary production of living materials and our supplies. Second, we look at the storage of special goods. So what is special goods storage? What do we have? Special storage conditions are required. For example, We are talking about dangerous goods storage. Dangerous goods storage, there are several key points in this. Then we have to see. We need to use our surveillance, temperature control and explosion protection, gas relief and other devices. A word of caution here. For us dangerous goods, it requires real-time regulation and monitoring. Monitor processes with dynamic management. There's one more point here. Cold storage. What's one thing that's mentioned here? You need a certain temperature. You probably know that. Cold storage is divided into many categories. Take our fruits and vegetables, for example. Take our seafood, for example, like our beef and mutton. So in the storage of these different items, the temperature of our cold storage, it's different again. So everybody knows, these cold storage items, food, so the longer it takes. So maybe we have different temperature requirements. So here it is. We want to embody what it is. It must be a certain temperature. Now look at grain storage. There's a key point here called constant temperature. Why keep a constant temperature? You should know. Like the rice we eat. Or our gray flour. So we have this storage of gray surfaces. If we do not carry out thermostatic temperature management. So it might be, if we warm the temperature up, then it may cause us food. Or our flour. Cause it to spontaneously combust. There were some fires. Let's look at custodial storage. The processing method is the return of the original. Processing storage. For example, wood processing. So we are in the process of processing. Warehousing for our processing. Our paper mill needs to grind the trees into wood chips. For furniture factories, we need to process the logs into our plates, or cut materials into different shapes. For wood mills, need to turn our branches and trunks into shredded wood, mixed with other materials to make composite boards. Then, it is also divided into consumer warehousing. We need to return the substitute. So how the transfer of ownership is handled. Okay, let's see. Then storage and safekeeping. That is the most original and basic function of our storage. It is mainly to manage the items stored in the warehouse, avoid loss and damage, and for specific operations, such as handling storage. Storage for reasonable and effective planning and management. Let's see. So, in the process of production and distribution, for various reasons, like seasonality, and the rhythm of production, market demand, and other changes in it, this can cause more or less deviation. This time, then you need our storage to carry out the buffering characteristics to adjust. Then warehousing is to change the time state of our things, to play its part in it. Okay, let's move on to distribution and distribution processing. We know, modern warehousing gradually evolved into a collection of circulation processing and distribution. Multifunctional logistics distribution center in one. We come to provide information. Warehousing provides information to all relevant systems. This is also an important sign of modern warehousing. Then regulate the transportation capacity. Let's see. Various means of transport have different capacities. Moreover, transportation costs and inventory costs vary inversely. So let's see. Faster transport. The higher the cost of production. Lower capacity results in higher storage volumes. Then storage costs will be relatively high. Sixth, we look at reducing logistics costs. Then, we use scientific and rational storage to make decisions, and warehouse management can be effectively reduced. Overall warehousing costs and logistics costs. Different production types, sales models. Different strategies and planning and management models are required. Let's see. The importance of warehousing in modern logistics management. First, production needs. Mention in this, warehousing is not only necessary in the process of product circulation. So in the production process, it also needs to be stored in our warehouse. Warehousing is also an indispensable part of logistics production. For example, in the production process of logistics, we often talk about temporary storage of work in progress, and the storage of raw materials, and so on. Second, marketing needs. Now companies are trying to win over consumers and get the long-term trust of consumers. A quick customer response strategy is generally adopted, and the implementation of this strategy must use the role of warehousing. Because store products close to customers, it can effectively prevent the occurrence of out-of-stock phenomenon that shortens the delivery time of goods, thus effectively improve the quality of customer service. Let's look at the regulating effect. The production of certain products, due to raw materials and other reasons, therefore, it has seasonal characteristics. But product demand is continuous. So the storage is here. It will help to adjust the contradiction between supply and demand. For example, when a certain raw material is needed for the production of a product, the price is lower at a certain time. Then the product manufacturer can purchase a certain amount of raw materials in advance for storage, so in case of future production needs. Let's look at reducing transportation costs and production costs. Although the establishment of a product warehouse will increase the cost, but it can also improve the efficiency of transportation and production. The cost is relatively reduced. In the case of market demand is difficult to predict. So let's store a certain amount of product. It can effectively prevent the production of out-of-stock costs, and to a certain extent, to ensure the rhythm of production. Make the production plan can be well implemented. Reduced production costs. Meanwhile, warehousing can be used to transport small batches of dispersed products. Task centralized integration, conducive to the formation of full load transport, and the overall optimization of transportation routes. This reduces transportation costs. Classmates, today's understanding of warehousing, we get an overview from warehousing, and the basic types of storage, and the main function of storage. Warehousing plays an important role in modern logistics management. So here's what we learned today. The whole content of warehousing understanding. That's all for today's lesson. Thank you all.